Therapy Thursday is getting popping right now. It is 888-429-0941. If you got a question, you can get Dr. Davi. You can get Meredith MD. You can get Orlando BGYN. We give advice. We are not professionals because we didn't pay that tuition, but we can fake it on the radio. All right, so if you got a question or any kind that you want to talk it out, we can work it out. All right, Therapy Thursday is on. Let's see what we got.
It's tough to give therapy when you're the one that needs counseling.
You know what, though? Honestly, I mean, somebody just texted and they were like, how y'all going to give therapy? And it's like, you know what? Honestly, you can talk it out. Us sitting in here quiet was harder than anything because we talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as soon as we started to talk, everybody got emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So talking does help. They always talk about mental health and stuff like that. Swallowing it, honestly, I mean, my man Mike Perry just hit me and I said, dude, I just blubbered on the air for 10 minutes. I hate when that happens. And he said, dude, it was beautiful. He said, I heard it all.
Yeah.
And, there's a picture that I'm posting up now, me and G and Mike.
And Glenn had one of those old school work ethics. Like, he worked harder than anybody. And he was the guy that you had to tell him to go home because he would pull an all-nighter.
Go to bed.
So I truly know that he would want us to keep working, keep it moving.
Nah, he would.
And not make it about him.
He absolutely would. You had to, make him take stuff.
Yeah.
Like after the toy drive tower, I would put in a card and put, a gift certificate for him and Laura to go to eat, have dinner. Because I'm like, yo, you spent 3 weeks of your life with me.
Here, yeah.
And I'm like, at least go have a dinner or something. And I'd have to have my daughter go give it to him while I was getting in the car.
Because he wouldn't accept it.
Because he wouldn't accept it from me. And he was like, you tell your daddy. And he punched my daughter and said, you gonna punch him. So my daughter comes and punches me. I'm like, what's that for? He's like, because Double G said hit you back because you're not supposed to do that. So he was real.
Can I just tell a really quick Glenn story while we're on the subject?
Absolutely.
Please.
I credit him for saving my job when I was on the street.
Really?
Yeah, I was at a QIK event. I was working for the country station, which I had no business doing. And it was at the fairgrounds, and they let me drive this mule. It's like a souped up golf cart. And I hit somebody's car, a listener. I hit their car at a remote, and I took out their tent.
Oh.
And it was terrible.
It wasn't just an easy thing. No, Dobby was rocking.
Yeah, I scratched the whole side of their car.
Oh.
I broke their tent, and I'm like, yo, today is the day that I need to go look for a new job. I'm getting fired today. And Glenn was there, and he was a former police officer, so he knew the cop. He helped with the police report. He calmed down the people whose car I hit. He talked to the guy who was in charge of the fleet manager. All this was not his job. None of this was his responsibility. But for what he felt his responsibility was to calm me down and to be like, yo, I was 22, 23. And he was like, bro, you're going to be okay. You're not going to get fired.
You're like, my life is over.
You're probably going to have to redo your driving test. But life goes on. And from that moment, I was like, okay, man, that guy's got my back.
Yeah.
He did. He had everybody's back, and he knew every officer out there for real. There are a lot of people who are definitely flying flags at half mast this morning because G is gone. So we're gonna hustle through. We got Therapy Thursday. We got some questions and stuff, so we'll get those things knocked out.
This one says, I'm 32 years old. I'm pregnant with my third kid. It's due in September. My mother recently became engaged and is getting married in November. We aren't close and haven't been close for years. She asked me to be a bridesmaid in her wedding. My main concerns are, one, she has not been there for me or tried to pursue a relationship in years now, nor have I. And number two, with a newborn and two toddlers, being in school part-time, I don't know if I want to commit my time to planning, throwing a shower, and a bachelorette party.
That's a lot of extra work.
That's,
I mean, listen, you have family and your own house. health to take care of at the same time. I mean, it sounds like it's too much. And even though you want to maintain a healthy relationship with your mother, you got to be honest and you got to be like, listen, A, B, C, D, this is not going to work out. I wouldn't say like, and by the way, our relationship sucks, so I don't want to be a part of, planning any of your stuff for your wedding. Just say you're not going to be there for her as much as you would like, and blame it on how busy you are, because you're not lying. You got a lot of stuff going on right now, and say, is there anything else, like a different role I can take?
There is an opportunity for you. I mean, we'll all give you the session. There's an opportunity for you to better the relationship, though, because you said y'all haven't had a relationship. Well, you got an opportunity now. Ain't nothing in front of you but opportunity. And especially as everybody is reeling over this, it's like, take your opportunities where you can to fix what you can fix. There's no need to let it go even further if she ain't never been there for you, and now you have an opportunity. This is an olive branch.
Right.
She's offering it to you now. Don't just take it and then become the mule that helps all of everything for the wedding. Like it has a cost.
Don't take too much on that you can't handle. Definitely help.
But be involved.
Right, exactly. But you don't want to screw up anything at the same time. If you can't do the job, then take a lesser role, but be involved, because you know what? Oh, that's a good point. You can mend a relationship with your mother, and you may be happy you did that years later.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see here. We got text and calls coming in. Davy is grabbing one phone line right there. Let's see. This said, I need all docs.
Okay.
I've been cheated on twice by two separate boyfriends, so I'm starting to think it's them and partly me. I never wanted to be the what you doing, where you at girl, but what's a good balance between being over getting cheated on and being overbearing to a man?
I've been through this personally. I've been cheated on once or twice in my life by different boyfriends, and honestly, you might screw up the next relationship you have because you're hurt and you don't know how to handle it correctly. And each relationship, even though you've been hurt, you have to separate it. That person might not necessarily treat you as badly as you will, or deceive you. You have to start a new relationship if you want to with fresh eyes. At the same time, maybe you should take a break from dating. Maybe you should reassess yourself and just enjoy who you are. Because trust me, once you get married and have kids, there's really no going back after that. So maybe it's time.
Too gullible.
Her?
If you keep getting cheated on, maybe you leaving a open lane.
Well,
it might
like
also be where you're picking guys.
That's very true.
I'm saying if you only got a 2-guy limit and both of them cheated on you, you might be setting it up where it's okay to cheat. Like maybe you giving a little bit too much leeway.
And that's what I was saying. Maybe you should take a break and reassess what's important to you. Some women say make a list of like the guy that you want. I'm not a big believer in that, but you should know who you want to be with in the future. If you're looking down the line to get married, really look at yourself and what you want and what would be better for you in the future, because maybe your picker's off.
She dated 2 dudes and got cheated on. She ain't getting married. She trying to find somebody to be faithful.
Yeah, that's a big deal, though.
If 2 people cheat on you,
and maybe that's hard these days to find.
You might just be making it too easy for them. Like maybe you want to get a little crazier.
What?
Maybe you would do. Maybe
girl cheated, and his advice is to get a little crazier the next dude.
Maybe you opening it up a little too much.
You just have to treat each individual relationship as that and what it is.
No, he get crazier though.
Well, my advice is just like you wouldn't want your next relationship, that guy, to carry the baggage from his last girlfriend and put that onto you. You have to understand that it's the same way.
If you play 2 championships and lose 2 championships, that third championship is going to be on your brain. So I'm just saying, the next person you date going to be looking at you like, hey, so why you looking through my phone?
Yeah.
Because I got cheated on twice. I'm sorry. Let's see. You got a phone question in here for Dr. Davi from Patrice. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
All right,
Hello,
Patrice.
everybody.
Hey there. You got Dr. Davi. What's your question?
Okay. Me and my boyfriend been dating for like 2 years. And just recently, like in February, he went through my phone, seen a text message from a guy that wasn't nothing. We was out. I was trying to figure out how much it cost to get in a club, which on my end, it wasn't intentional or whatever. But his point was somebody else got my number. And I guess I broke his trust, but he's been acting like sideways, like been staying out till 6 o'clock in the morning and like really like giving me the cold shoulder sometimes. But then he'll act like he's all into me. You know, sometimes I don't even I wonder if we're roommates or if we're together. So I'm trying to figure out if I should keep trying or have I just like broke his trust because somebody got my number, even though it wasn't nothing like he didn't find any, disrespectful messages, but the only thing he asked me was what was my name, and I asked him how much it cost to get in the club.
That was it, and we're just tripping over that.
Wait, Dr. Davi, before you jump on it, I just want to make sure we get clarity, though. How did the dude get your number?
We was walking out of the club, the E-Boy, and I'm like, what after hour party at? Dude was like, you want the address, call my phone, I'll send you the address, because I'm not from here.
Okay.
So
all right. I just wanted to make
real.
sure we got that clarity out.
Right.
Dr. Davi, give it.
Patrice, can you admit that you were wrong for giving some dude your number at 3 a.m. looking for an after party? Can we admit that?
Right. I admit that. I told him he wasn't wrong for feeling the type of way that he was, but his behavior is not.
And I understand that. A lot of times, somebody who is not necessarily okay. So sometimes people will pick an issue that may be big, may be small, and blow it up to try to kind of deflect attention from everything else that they're going to do. I think he's using, even though you were wrong, but that doesn't justify him staying out till 6 o'clock in the morning and maybe and giving you the cold shoulder. It feels like his reaction kind of outweighs what you did. I think you definitely need to sit him down, have a conversation, admit you were at fault and you shouldn't have done that. However, two wrongs don't make a right. You have to call him out on his behavior. And if he can't accept that he's doing wrong and just always just trying to put it back, but you gave that guy your number, this guy might not be for you. If he can admit that he's doing wrong and you're doing wrong, or did something that was inappropriate, then I think you guys can get past it, move forward, and work on gaining that trust back. But if he's just going to keep holding this over your head, and anytime he does something wrong, he brings that back up, he might not be for you, sis.
I hear my grandmama in my ear.
Ooh, what's she saying?
She's saying ain't nothing open after 6 a.m. but the jail and legs.
Exactly, and that's what I tell him. That's disrespectful. You don't come home at 6 o'clock.
But I mean, that's a different conversation y'all gotta have. That's a different conversation. You gotta fall on the sword about what you did, and then say, but now separately.
But that was in February though. Like, how long is he gonna make me suffer?
Dang, that was a long time ago.
I'm just saying. It wasn't that long ago.
February.
Some dude slid on your text.
And if I may ask, what time did you come home that night? Did you go to an after party?
No, I went to the after party, but they was at capacity, so we did come home.
But you came home at like 4
Yeah, so you was like 4?
Woo.
Like 4, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he was like 6. Like,
so
you came
come on now.
Yeah, now we talking about 2 hours.
Often.
What?
I don't go out often, so it's like.
That's all right.
I get that, but if you come home at 5 o'clock in the morning with some random dude's number, I got a lot of questions.
All right, sweetie. Thank you. Wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
We feel a little tight about that, apparently.
I guess so. Let's see. We got one more we can fit in.
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. At the 813, it says, this is for any of the doctors. I have only been single for 6 months now, and me and my boyfriend. Oh, okay. I have only been single for about 6 months now, and me and my boyfriend of 8 years broke up due to me breaking up with him because he is disloyal and a liar and insecure. Now I am super insecure and I don't know how to even be single. I still see him occasionally and I don't know how to stop seeing him. I do give him another chance. But I also want to cut him off completely. I don't know what to do because we were together for so long and I'm lost. I'm very sad. I need your help. By the way, side note, punctuation is so important.
We're reading these live.
Big run-on sentence.
One long sentence.
You know what? I will say you confused because you got to figure out. Yeah, but you're not though. You're really caught up in the whole, habit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It sounds like you caught up in the habit. You're like, I'm dealing with him, but I'm not.
How do you break an 8-year habit?
Yeah, you straddling the fence. Like, you got to either tear the Band-Aid off or put it on. You can't be like, just
pick a side.
Pick a side.
If you want to be with him, you're obviously going to keep seeing him.
Like,
Stop
or if
seeing
you
him.
just like hooking up, like, then you're not gonna that space. I remember there was like, you know, I think the Star Goddess should always say the nature loves a vacuum. You got to remove somebody before you could put somebody in there. Ain't nobody going to come. It's like a parking space. He's in that parking space. You can't find nobody else until you move it out of the way. So, in essence, you got to stop what you're doing.
Yeah, you're not thinking about anybody else but him.
Ruin.
Right, exactly. You can't move on if you're just thinking about him and seeing him. Okay, you want to coin that?
I was about to wrap. He's going to hit him with the Humpty.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, anyway, I just think you're getting ready to ruin things.
Okay.
So, get it right. All right, that's a wrap.
Yeah, I think so.
Therapy Thursday. Let's go.